In the shadows of human interaction lies a realm ruled by manipulation, persuasion, and the pursuit of power. Welcome to the world of dark psychology. Dark psychology. The term itself is shrouded in mystery, eliciting images of shadowy figures and clandestine operations. But what is it really? How is it different from the psychology we're familiar with, and why is it essential to understand? In essence, dark psychology refers to the study of the darker side of human nature. It's the exploration of those aspects of the human psyche that drive individuals to actions we might consider manipulative, deceptive, or even downright destructive. It's not the psychology of mental illness or pathology. Instead, it's about understanding the psychological techniques and tactics used by those who seek to control and manipulate others for personal gain. Now, don't get me wrong. Psychology as a field is fundamentally about understanding the human mind and behavior. But where general psychology might focus on the motives behind why we love, laugh, or learn, dark psychology ventures into the murkier waters of manipulation, persuasion, deception, and control. It seeks to understand the why and the how behind the actions of those who use psychological tactics for less than noble purposes. So why should we care about understanding dark psychology? Well, knowledge is power. By understanding the tactics used in dark psychology, we can better protect ourselves and those we care about from becoming victims of manipulation and control. It's not about becoming a puppet master, but rather, it's about ensuring that we're not the puppets. The main components of dark psychology include manipulation, persuasion, deception, and control. Manipulation involves influencing someone's behavior or beliefs to suit one's own needs or desires. Persuasion is about convincing others to do or believe something through reasoning or argument. Deception involves misleading or lying to others to achieve a certain outcome. And control? Well, that's just about having power or influence over others. Now that we've set the stage, it's time to delve deeper into the world of dark psychology. Dark psychology isn't just about manipulation. It's about understanding the darker side of human nature. It's about delving into the depths of our minds to discover what drives us to deceive, control, and manipulate. Let's start with manipulation. If we peel back the layers, we find it's all about influence. It's about swaying others to act or think in a way that serves our interests. This can be done subtly, through suggestion and persuasion, or more overtly, through pressure and coercion. But remember, manipulation isn't inherently evil. It depends on the intention behind it. A charismatic leader can manipulate a crowd to inspire positive change. However, in the wrong hands, these skills can easily be used to exploit and control. Next, we come to deception. Deception is a craft that requires a keen understanding of human behavior. It's about creating a false reality, a smokescreen that distracts from the truth. Whether it's a poker player bluffing their way to victory or a con artist spinning a web of lies, deception is a powerful tool in the arsenal of dark psychology. Control, the third facet, is about dominance and power. It's about directing the actions and thoughts of others to achieve a desired outcome. This can be seen in cult leaders who brainwash their followers, or in abusive relationships where one person holds all the power. The techniques vary, but the goal remains the same: to control and dominate. Behind all these techniques are psychological principles. Principles like cognitive dissonance, where we strive for consistency in our beliefs and actions, or the halo effect, where our overall impression of a person influences how we feel and think about their character. These techniques might sound intimidating, but they're just tools. How we use them defines their nature. So as we journey further into the realm of dark psychology, let's remember this. Knowledge is power, but with power comes responsibility. Theory is one thing, but seeing dark psychology in action brings a whole new perspective. Let's dive into the world of politics. It's no secret that politicians often use psychological tactics to sway public opinion. One such technique is fear-mongering, where leaders exaggerate threats or dangers to manipulate people into supporting them or their policies. By creating a sense of fear and insecurity, they can persuade the public to rally behind them as their protector. Take note, however, that this is not exclusive to one political party or ideology. It's a universal strategy used across the spectrum, from democracies to dictatorships. The key is to remember that fear is a powerful motivator, and when used strategically, it can lead to significant shifts in public sentiment. Next, let's switch gears and talk about advertising. If you've ever found yourself making an impulsive purchase, you've likely been influenced by the principles of dark psychology. Advertisers often use scarcity tactics to create a sense of urgency. They'll tell you an item is in limited supply or a sale is ending soon, making you feel like you need to act fast or miss out. Another common technique is social proof, where advertisers use testimonials and reviews to convince you that everyone else is buying their product, so you should too. This manipulates our innate desire to fit in and be part of the crowd. Lastly, let's discuss how dark psychology can creep into personal relationships. Have you ever known someone who always seems to get their way, no matter what? They might be using a technique called gaslighting. This is a form of psychological manipulation where the person makes you question your own memory, perception, or sanity. They might deny things that have happened or distort facts to suit their narrative. Over time, this can cause you to doubt yourself and become more susceptible to their influence. Another technique often used in relationships is love bombing. This is when someone showers you with affection and praise, only to withdraw it later. The aim is to create an emotional dependency, making it harder for you to leave the relationship. As we've just explored, dark psychology isn't confined to the pages of a psychology textbook. It's a pervasive part of our daily lives, subtly influencing our decisions and behavior. It's in the political speeches that stir up fear, the adverts that make us feel like we're missing out, and even in our personal relationships where manipulation can sometimes masquerade as love. It's important to remember that understanding these techniques is the first step towards resisting them. By recognizing the signs of dark psychology, we can better protect ourselves and make more informed decisions. As you can see, dark psychology is more common than you might think. It's not just for villains in movies, it's happening around us every day. In the shadows of human interaction lies a realm ruled by manipulation, persuasion, and the pursuit of power. Welcome to the world of dark psychology. Knowing about dark psychology isn't just about manipulating others, it's about protecting yourself. The implications of this field stretch far beyond simple tricks to get what you want. Understanding these techniques can build a shield against the manipulations and control mechanisms that might otherwise go unnoticed in our daily interactions. Imagine walking into a negotiation, a debate, or even a casual conversation, armed with the knowledge of the psychological tactics that could be used against you. It's like having a secret decoder ring for human behavior. You'd see the hidden agendas, the subtle power plays, the veiled attempts to control the situation. And with that knowledge, you could counter those attempts or at least not fall prey to them. But as with any power, there comes responsibility. Dark psychology is not a toy to be played with lightly. It's a tool that can be used to influence, to control, and yes, to manipulate. And that's where the ethical considerations come in. Using these techniques for personal gain at the expense of others is a clear violation of trust and respect. It's the dark side of dark psychology, the part that gives it its name. But that doesn't mean these techniques are inherently evil. They're simply tools, and like any tool, their ethical implications depend entirely on how they're used. Remember, the goal here isn't to become the puppet master, pulling the strings in every interaction. It's to understand how these strings can be pulled so that we can recognize when it's happening to us and protect ourselves accordingly. So dark psychology can be a double-edged sword. It can empower us, but it can also make us vulnerable if we're not careful. The more we understand about these techniques, the better we can navigate the murky waters of human interaction, armed with the knowledge to protect ourselves and to use these tools responsibly. Dark psychology is a fascinating field that shines a light on the darker side of human nature. Today, we've delved into this captivating realm, unraveling its enigmatic layers. We've learned that dark psychology is not a sinister force. It's a study of manipulation, persuasion, and power dynamics that exist in our day-to-day interactions. We started by understanding the basics of dark psychology, exploring its principles and how it's used to exert influence. Then, we journeyed through real-world examples, observing how these techniques are employed in various scenarios, from politics to personal relationships. We also discussed the implications of dark psychology, highlighting the ethical considerations and potential impacts of its use. It's important to remember that while these tools can be used negatively, they can also be harnessed for positive change and self-improvement. Remember, knowledge is power. Understanding dark psychology can help us navigate this complex world more effectively. Stay curious and keep learning.